further, I want to introduce my special guest, Mr. Michael Miranda, which we will be lovingly calling Buster. Hi, Buster. How do you feel right now?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
How long have you been involved with the festival?
Well, you mean this one or?
As long as you can remember. How long?
I was 8 years old. I'm 74.
Okay, this is the man we need to talk to.
And
Okay, Buster, before they start the first lift, because I know that's very important, some questions I want to ask you just to help the
Whatever you
audience
wanna know,
understand
dear.
what's going on.
I have the answer.
Okay? Now, the structure itself. What is the name of that structure? How do you say it in Italian?
Ogiglia. Yeah, that means in English, a lily, a flower.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, how heavy is it?
Well, that runs into. Now it isn't too bad because we made it out of aluminum.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it used to be made out of lumber, and every year you go through all that money to buy new lumber.
Uh-huh.
Used to break while we're lifting it.
So now it's...
We have an itinerary that we make a number 2 lift. Number 2 lift is when you raise it up and drop it without.
So with all the lifting that's going on, so what approximation would you say, what, 2 tons? I heard it's
Just
almost...
about 2 tons.
And how tall is it?
That's figure strictly, it goes about 65 feet.
Wow. Okay, now we said it was made out of aluminum. How many men does it take to carry? I know
It takes exactly 96 men to carry it.
Wow. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about the music. I'm sure you can all hear all the music in the background. Now, there's one particular song that they use that helps the men lift. What is the name of that song?
That's Ogiglia e Bararese. It means the lily of paradise.
Do you know who wrote the song?
Yes, Mr. Salvatore Ferrara.
And it was
He wrote the words, and Mr. Phil Cacavalli wrote the music. The late Mr. Phil Cacavalli.
What is I know when they sing it, they usually sing it in Italian. Could you help us out with some of the English?
Well,
just a little idea of what they're saying.
like every year, they bring a feast to the heart of the community.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, that's what this feast is all
And
about.
that's what the feast is really all about.
That's
And
all.
once you put that into yourself, like putting it into your soul, it is the greatest. You know what I mean? And the first thing we know, this song, when it was written, we had tremendous meetings. And it is the first time in the history of Brooklyn that any Gila song, we put names in it. And I pride myself, I'm not pride, but I feel so great that I was the first Capabaranza's name to put in the song.
Okay, now he mentioned Capabaranza, right? Am I saying that right?
Right.
Okay, we have, well, while we're getting ready for the first lift, I want to explain a little bit about that first man in front because he's a very important man. He holds this festival all together. Now, what does Capabaranza mean?
Capabaranza means the head man, the top banana of the whole feast, as far as the command is concerned. But he is as good. We have 4 lieutenants, and each lieutenant has 30 men under him. 24 he uses to lift up the Gilia, and 6 they stay on the side, help the rope gang to keep the people back. That is the safety of the whole feast. The extra 6 men times 4, which means we got 24 well-able body boys that know all about it, and that's it. And before he gives the command, those 4 lieutenants have to be called up in the front,
There's a lot of
and he gives them just like a dry run of what he wants. Where he's going to drop it, how long he's going to run it, and that means so much to the whole affair.
It's just amazing the responsibility that's involved in that.
Right, and it's when he gives the command, the way he gives it, that's the way the kids respond.
Oh, no. Now, briefly, how do you become one? Now, there's different ranks. Could you just explain the ranks?
You first come in as a kid. You are a rope, a kid holding a rope. On top of that, now you'll pick what we call a lieutenant. A lieutenant is a guy that takes care of 24 men. Then, by your responsibility of what you do, not only on a G solicitation, everything.
So this is really a man of the men
In other words,
as well
you
as the
start
church.
from the bottom,
And you work
and then you
yourself
work yourself up.
up. Okay, well, Buster, we're going to get ready for the first lift. So I want to bring the cameras down.
Everybody comes here to eat, drink, and have a nice time. You see that statue there? You got 250 young-blooded young boys to lift that up. And they really hurt themselves. There's nobody faking on that because they fake to get the hell out of there. They really got to all lift and live with their heart and soul, that they mean it. Everything is donated to the church, and you got to be good to do that. And everything is beautiful. If you notice, if you walk around, the crowd that was here today, I guarantee you had over 10,000 people watching and eating and drinking. If you look, they're still eating. They're still walking around eating. This time until 1 o'clock tonight, there's no stopping. Everybody eats. They love to eat sausage. And what I have here is what they call sweetbread. Nobody has that. We make our own sausage here, and it's golden brown. I give them a good sausage sandwich, and I give them what they call a hot peppers, you know, the real long hot peppers. Then the next day they think of me because they're so hot and they're beautiful.
Okay, right now the Agile will be going down Havemeyer Street, and where the boat is right now. And Buster, what do? They bring it up to the corner, turn it around, and I believe at this point the men then break for lunch. Okay, could you briefly tell us what's going to happen when they come back from lunch? Between the hours, I believe it's 4 and 6.
We take an hour and 15 minutes for lunch.
Uh-huh.
Then during the lunch, the general chairman and the number one man gives them a little itinerary what's got to be done. To make sure that nobody goes home. Because we need 100% in the morning. We need 110% in the afternoon.
Yeah, sure.
People get tired. And then we talk about helping out the rope gang a little more. And the main thing is do the best we can.
And safely get that structure back where it belongs.
Nobody gets hurted.
Oh,
That's
this
the
is
main
nice.
thing.
This is
The
nice.
safety of the whole thing is everybody.
Okay, you know what I want to talk about now? All these young little boys that I see on the rope. We talked about the importance, of course, of Sammy Canciano's #1 job, the lifters, ropes. Now, what are the little boys on the ropes? What are they? That is the rope gang, right?
The rope gang.
Now,
right.
how old do you have to be to?
Well, right now, there's not too many young guys. So if you, like my grandson just got onto the rope.
And how old is he?
He's 10.
Oh, beautiful.
But he's a nice big kid.
Uh-huh.
See? And he loves it. And he's half German, half Italian. But he loves it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So that's where it
Really,
starts.
really beautiful.
You know, Buster,
He
this
loves
is the
it.
time that I'd really like to speak a little bit more about the family tradition. I mean, you said your father started the festival.
Absolutely.
Then you were there, and you went all the way up to the first couple
I
of rounds, right?
started here 35 years ago in this feast. And I'm a sign painter by trade. I make screens, and I've been making T-shirts for this feast for 35 years.
Yeah, I think I'm wearing one of your T-shirts.
Now, when I first started making the shirts, there was what, 200. Now, it's not only the shirts that I make with the feast itself. I got to make special shirts for the rope gang.
Sure.
See? Then I
Sure.
make special shirts for the day that we go out with the bread, that we don't conflict with each other. And if you don't have a shirt that entitles you to go out with the bread, you don't go.
Okay. Well,
That's
let's
it.
just start from the beginning. So you said you started on the ropes.
I did.
Okay. Then you moved up to lifter.
I was a
Okay.
lifter for 1 year,
Uh-huh.
and then I became an apprentice.
And you moved up to the ranks until you became first Copper
I
Bronze.
was made first cover bronze, then I stayed like that for 8 years.
Now, how did it feel the very first time you had to give the command for the first lift?
Well, I'm going to have to tell you, the very first time that I was cover bronze was 25 years ago. My wife was deadly sick. She says to me when I left in the morning, she said, you got a job to do. You got 300-400 guys waiting for you. If God forbid anything happens to me, you do your job for the church first, and then you come back and take
You had a
care.
very special wife, but I understand that most of the
Unbelievable.
wives of the
Unbelievable.
men have that understanding and that feeling.
Absolutely.
They have to
Absolutely.
work along.
We got some beautiful wives. In fact, all of them. That's all I can say.
Okay, now you became Copper Bronze, so you were there for 8 years. Now you have your son, which is
Right.
Sal, but
Right.
they call him Sarge.
Right, Sarge. yeah.
Okay, now Sarge started, how old was he when he started on the ropes?
Sarge was, well, when we first started, Sarge was what, 15 years old? That's when you had to be 14 or 15 to be a rope guy.
Uh-huh.
See? We didn't care. Of course, then we had a hell of a lot of guys around here.
Yeah.
See, he was 15 years old when he was a rope
Started
guy.
on the rope,
then
then
he
he-
started graduating. And then at that time, the executive board used to vote for who we wanted as an apprentice. So we used to put 4 or 5 names up, and then whoever came out top, that's how my kid became an apprentice. Now,
And
he
it
was an
worked.
apprentice for an awful long time. Because I was the last 4 years I was Cabo Bronze. And then he was the fourth man.
And then he
apprentice.
just worked
That
himself
took
right
8
up.
years. And then when he became, he knew all the ins and outs of what had to be done.
Sure.
So he couldn't
But
go
then
wrong.
again, it's in his blood.
So he couldn't go wrong.
And also, when we talk to Mr. Sal Miranda, known as Sarge, we also are aware that his son is now lifting
Oh,
the boat.
absolutely.
And this tradition will be carried on and on. Now, this is only the first half of the day. And what could I say? It's breathtaking. What we will do is we will break and stop for lunch. And unfortunately, we'll have to close the show when the men bring
Whatever
the
you
statue
say,
back.
no problem.
But
This is Larry Lorenzano speaking to you from North 8th and Havemeyer Street, the Giglio of Brooklyn, Mount Carmel Church. Today's day is a wonderful day, a joyous day. I may say Buona Vesta to tutti, tutti Buona Vesta. This is our great Giglio Festival. We have it annually. It's usually held during the month of July. And of course, the origins of this feast date all the way back to the 13th century and Bishop Paulinus. The Giglio to me, of course, means number one, a great deal of work, but the kind of work that I truly enjoy because it's a labor of love. I've been playing the trumpet for 30 years and have been associated with the Giglio Festival for the last 20 years. It was my pleasure to play the songs of this feast on the Mike Douglas Show in 1968. Excuse me.
Well, the feast means an awful lot to me. It means a lot of different things, really. Having been a tradition in my family for many, many years, it's something that I looked forward to ever since I was a child. Looked forward to the day that I would be able to stand in front of the Giglio and give the commands, as I have come to do now as a capo in the feast. It means continuing a tradition, continuing and keeping our community together. Only with the feast can we do this. Keep the church going, keep the neighborhood as strong as it is, and keep a tradition that has been going on for centuries alive here in Brooklyn in the United States.
This day means a lot to us because it's been a tradition around this neighborhood for years and our fathers before us. And it's been a part of our life for the last 15 years. And it's a very, very important day for us. And I hope I can keep continuing till I'm as old as they come.
Our Carnival Feast has been going on now for over 90 years. It has a great sentimental value for all Italian cultural people because it brings back memories of Italy and the great tradition of carrying the Giglio through the streets of Italy. They carry the boat also. It's a tradition of men carrying and showing their strength through the streets of Italy. Now we do it in Brooklyn. There's a wide variety of street vendors and they sell their wares. This is America now, and it's showing that their independence of Italian culture among other cultures in America. This is the best that you can find. This is Italian. Italian is the best. Thank you, and hello from Brooklyn. This is Paul D'Arienzo.
The day here for all of us is bringing families together under the banner of Our Lady. All of us here enjoy ourselves as a family of the church and a family of blood.
Pastivecchiano. Anthony Pastivecchiano.
Okay, we're near the end now. We're all the way down on Hebemeyer and North 9th. This is the first time we're looking at the back of the statue. This is the first time that 6 couples are leading this and bringing it back where it should be. Oh, this is real exciting. All right. Okay, 6 couples. There's TG in the front. Sammy Caggiano. It's going to be going back soon. Putting it back until next year. Excellent. Okay. All right. This is too much for me to explain. There's just so much going on right now. It's excellent. This is the moment we're waiting for. The last final left until next year. And wonderful. I have Father Sinelli right beside me. All right, Father, this is the one we're waiting for, right? This is the lift we've all been waiting for, huh?
Yes, this brings the end to a lovely day. It has been a wonderful day, and now we bring Vigilio back to its original place. The men, the band, the singer, the whole comitato has been just magnificent on this glorious day. We have just had a wonderful experience that we shall never forget. This is the best day of 1984 for Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish.
That says 1984 for me. New Year's has nothing over there. Okay. All right. They did a great job. 6 comparable arches. Turn that statue around and put it in its place. Okay, now for those words.
Harvard, Harvard. Move it back here. Feel left, guys. Feel left. Feel left. Back a little bit. Only the left-hand side of the shield. Back it up. Keep it up, fellas. Stand up with it. Move it back. Move it back. A little bit more. Hold it there. Now the guys in the back, put it down nice and easy. In the back only. Put it down. You guys in the front, get the box underneath. Pick it up in the front. Pick it up in the front. Let's go. In the back, put it down in the back. Put it down in the back. Lift it up high in the front. Let's go. Get it up in the front. Get it up. He's got that spiral. Get it up. One more. Let's go. Get it up.
Oh, they look really tired at this point now.
Okay, fellas, that sounds beautiful. I get it.
All right. This is the part we're waiting for. All the guys, it's all on the wind. They've been working hard all year for this. Now it's time for them to rest. For me, this day has brought back a lot of my own family tradition. From the neighbors today, I love it. And the boys and Sammy and Father, thank you for your help.
You're quite welcome. We're glad that you were able to be with us on this great day. Thank you very much.
And we're going to dance and enjoy ourselves.